What's up guys, Thomas Alex Norman here. I was filming a couple of videos today and wanted to talk about this as well. So a lot of you guys have probably been following the KSI and Logan Paul fight that happened on Saturday, August 25th. And I had a lot of really interesting discussions with a few of my friends and also my girlfriend as to if this fight was actually good for people and it actually made people feel good and if it did something good for society in general. Because that's the lens we need to view things from, right? You know, okay, maybe it was entertaining, maybe it made a few people feel excited, but was it actually good for us, you know, as human beings on planet Earth? So, rewinding a little bit, I think we need to talk about social media in general. When I watch, for example, Logan Paul's videos, I'll be watching them mostly by myself because that's just the nature of YouTube, right? You just kind of watch it on your phone, so inherently you're by yourself when you're watching them most of the time. I also feel like by the end of the video, I feel kind of weird. I feel like rather than feeling better after I watch that video, and as he says, like he wants to make everyone's day better by watching his videos, I feel more like just this kind of uncomfortable sensation, the same kind of sensation when I'll go through Facebook's newsfeed and be scrolling through it and then realize I've been scrolling for 20 minutes and I didn't actually want to be on Facebook and I find myself on it anyway. And it's not a criticism of Logan Paul in specific, it's just more like the nature of his videos. It's always just like attention, capturing attention, captivating you. And by the end of it, you're like, did I actually want to watch that? Not really, but I kind of just did. At least that's how I feel, I don't know. But I'm sure a lot of people would share the same kind of view. It's less so of KSI's videos, but to a certain extent, it's the same, especially in this lead up to this boxing event. So like, I'm sure there was millions of people, you can see from the view counts, on their phones in the week, especially before that fight, if not months before, watching every single piece of content that KSI put out, that Logan Paul put out within seconds of being uploaded, as well as seeing all the different opinions from all the other YouTubers, who's gonna win, comments, bitch fights, everything about this fight, right? And I was definitely amongst them. I was the guy who was really like, KSI, watch the video. Okay, I'm just gonna secretly watch this right now. Not even secretly, but like, you know, even if there's friends, maybe I'd even kind of go into a corner and watch it for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just be like, oh shit, yeah, that was sick, you know, what he said or whatever. And like, even with KSI's videos, who he is more kind of, in his videos at least, down to earth a little bit, and he's less kind of in your face, capture attention. Even with his, when they lead up to that fight, I felt like, I kind of been binge watching YouTube, I've been watching too much stuff. And more than that, it's not just like, okay, Tom, maybe you just shouldn't have watched that. It's also it also has a link with isolation. And like, as I was hinting at before, all of these videos, all of this lead up, I was watching by myself. And I can't help but think that 90% of the millions of other people who are watching all of these videos were probably also watching it by themselves. And so from that perspective, I don't think that's a good thing for society. And it's not like a comment on this fight specifically, but also like social media in general, is that if you're spending hours of your free time on your screen, on a phone, by yourself, that is not good for you, and it's not good for society. And there's been multiple studies to prove this. The effect of like this kind of media consumption on social media, especially in isolation, is actually like really damaging to your mental health, especially with kids growing up in their teenage years. So then it brings you to think, maybe this wasn't good for society at all. Maybe all this did was split everyone apart, making them binge watch content. Not making them, but you know, the nature of it is so addictive that you just want to watch it. And it wasn't a good thing. Especially when you look at, you know, people when TV came out, like 50 years ago or whatever, they were saying, oh, TV is so bad for society, it's so bad for the world, everyone's on their screens. But at least with TV, you're sitting in a room with your family, your friends most of the time, and you're watching it with them, you know, depending on your family and whatever, your household setup. But at least when I was a kid, whenever it would be TV, it would be in the main room and we'd at least be watching it together. I personally didn't think it was the best thing that we could be doing. Much better to talk or, you know, play cards or like have something where we're actually interacting with each other. But at least you're together in the same room and you can talk about the film or the episode you just watched. Whereas YouTube, it's like you go into a little corner or you go in your room or like you wake up and you're in bed and you see a notification, you start watching and before you've even started your day, you're just like a zombie. And from that perspective, I don't think it was good. However, when the fight actually happened, I found something different happening. And I also found myself getting kind of inspired unexpectedly. And this is because of two things. So they're two kind of separate things. Number one, I watched the fight with like 10 other people. I had like a little gathering in my flat, not for the fight, but it happened to be on the same day. And like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 of us ended up kind of around the sofas, watching the fight, shouting, screaming, having fun together, talking about it. And from that perspective, I was like, this is sick. You know, this whole event, this build-up has brought me together in a different way with my friends, some new people. And it was cool. It was really cool to have that as a thing. The other thing, and why I kind of got inspired by it, was the fact that two young guys managed to do something that no one else has ever done and really like smash this kind of glass ceiling that was above YouTube and make it real. It really took, everyone has this notion of YouTube, which is a true notion, like how I'm filming this video right now. Like YouTube's something that people kind of do in their rooms on their own. They don't really interact with the real world, and it's kind of this kind of isolated like keyboard or camera warrior kind of thing where people can even act kind of brave or say a lot of things, but in the actual real world, all they're actually doing is just pointing a camera at themselves and talking. Whereas this fight really flipped that on its head, and this fight really made it real and really showed these two guys making something happen in the real world, you know? Because it was around boxing, watching two people just beat the shit out of each other, yeah, okay, I can imagine people thinking that it could have been something more productive, but I don't know, like it would be very hard to get, you know, 18,000 people paying to be in a room and millions watching online with something that was productive. You know, it's kind of human nature to just be really fucking engaged and interested in these kinds of things. That's why sports are so popular, especially boxing. And especially this kind of boxing when you know the two people, like you know them in a way because you watch all their videos, their reputations are on the line. It's so addictive. And so in that aspect, I thought it was pretty sick. Like I thought it was pretty cool that they actually managed to smash a glass ceiling, make something happen. And actually, you know, obviously they both like transformed themselves. And I think not just physically, but also mentally. Like I can see the effect that it's had on KSI from being somebody who, yeah, okay, he did music, he did some performances, some real world stuff before, but like turning from somebody who essentially was like a YouTuber and then transforming themselves into, you know, in a way, an athlete. You know, of course they're not pro boxers. The fight was like questionably good or not, but it was still sick to see like that hard work paying off in the real world. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, just a few comments there. It's more of a discussion, you know, there's no conclusion here. I'm not sure if it was good or bad for the world in general. I'm thinking about this stuff as well because being a YouTuber myself, I guess, I'm thinking about this stuff and I don't want my videos to be something that you go away and watch by yourself on your phone. And I don't want it to be something that isolates you. Or at least I want it to be something that encourages you after you watch this video to go and connect with people or to go and do something positive for your own and others, both like mental health and the good of the planet and society in general. that's we have this responsibility now. It's just something that we have to do, is all be working towards making this planet better. Anyway, we're getting pretty deep. We're getting pretty deep here right now. This video is mainly about the KSI Logan fight. The other stuff that I was kind of like dancing around will be coming out in different videos soon, talking about some of this stuff that I'm passionate about, more stuff about sustainability, some more advice, maybe a couple of rants, and some challenges as well for myself. So thank you very much for watching. I'd love for you guys to leave some comments below, giving your thoughts on the fight and talking about, you know, from this perspective. I didn't see that many videos on YouTube talking about if it was actually a good thing or not for people in general, so it'd be great to see that, see your perspectives and see how you feel, you know. I'd love to know how you feel when you're watching YouTube in general. Does it, because a lot of people, I see the comments, like everyone's just said, like a lot of people just say, thank you, this was so inspiring, thank you, I learned a lot, thank you. Not just in my videos, but in a lot of other people's videos. And obviously it does have a positive impact on a lot of people, but I'm also curious to like hear honest opinions about my videos and also other people's videos. You know, has there ever been a time where you've watched one of my videos and then actually felt bad? Or has there been a time when you've watched one of mine or any other people's videos and you kind of felt like, I didn't really want to watch that, or like, I don't feel like this was like a healthy thing to do just by myself on my own. And finally, after leaving those comments, giving this maybe a cheeky little thumbs up, maybe a share if you find it interesting, and a subscribe, of course. If you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? The other thing is that when my next video comes out, I would love for you to, before you click and watch, go and get a mate or whoever's around you to watch it with you. That's it. Just have somebody to watch it with you. I think that's so much better than you just watching it on your own, on your phone, with a million other things going on. I just don't think it's good for you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Speak very soon. Keep filming. Bye-bye.